our regular monthly meeting of the Stratford Town Council to order. I'd like to acknowledge the land upon which we gather as the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq, and we pay our respects to the Indigenous Mi'kmaq people of this territory, past, present, and future. I'd like to welcome everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for coming. And we've got a full agenda, and so maybe we'll get right into it then. Declaration of conflict of interest is our next item. Anyone around the table who has a conflict of interest with any of the items we'll be covering tonight, please declare so now. If not, I will entertain a motion for approval of the agenda as presented. Thank you, Councillor Chandler. A seconder? Thank you, Councillor Cox. All those in favor? Anyone against? Motion carried. The minutes of our regular monthly meeting of the 6th of July, is that the 8th of July, I guess. Need the font size increased here. Yeah, are in your package. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes that anyone would like to propose to those minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval of those minutes. Second? Second. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone against? Motion carried. So those minutes are approved, and that was moved by Councillor Dowling and seconded by Deputy Mayor Gallant. Business arising from the minutes. Anything in those minutes that we're not going to be covering here tonight? If not, Jeremy Pierce, is he here? Is there any presentations from the floor? There's no presentations from the floor. Okay, then I'll get into my report, which is the next item on the agenda. Just some highlights from the previous, since our last council meeting. There was a wind-up event for the Seniors College, which is a really worthwhile organization that provides educational opportunities for seniors. They had their closing ceremony here at the gymnasium a while back, and I was asked to provide remarks, and I just thanked them for everything they do and the services they provide, and for coming to Stratford, because there are a lot of the people on the executive, and as a matter of fact, I think the president is just from outside Stratford, so it's a great organization. Provincial Immigration Partnership meeting, attended that. There was a lot of discussion about how we can really retain more immigrants, people that come here and for economic opportunity and other reasons move on to other jurisdictions. But the aim is to really try to provide the opportunities for them here. As well, there was a great meeting between us, Stratford, Cornwall, and Charlottetown to put in place an accessible taxi, which is now will now be available. I believe the service will become available the 1st of September, is my understanding, and hopefully that will meet the need for anyone with the mobility challenges to be able to at any time of the day or night be able to call a taxi, which will be able to accommodate a wheelchair or any kind of mobility aids. Yeah, the Council of the Federation event had an opportunity to meet several provincial premiers, and just that was a great opportunity to really let them know about Stratford and about some of the opportunities that exist here. There's now in place a new transit agreement, which was signed this past month. It was also Pride Month, and we had the Pride flag raising, the Pride Parade, and we had an event, Tide and Pride in the Park, where we just wanted to, I was asked to provide remarks, and I pointed out that any jurisdiction or any society that doesn't welcome and value the contributions of anyone from the LGBTQ community, and I'm sorry I don't have all the initials, but it is really important that we, value and really take pride in having everyone with alternative lifestyles in our society, because they contribute so much in every field of human endeavor, and it's something that the achievements and contributions of that community is really to be really well respected and valued. We're in the process of hiring a new CAO, and we're now going to begin interviews in a week or so. We've gone through, we've hired a consultant, and our HR advisor has been working to really get the list down to, a number of very qualified candidates. So I'm looking forward to having a new CAO in place, hopefully sometime in September or thereabouts. Great event to, as I say, the push-in ceremony to really put the new aerial ladder truck in our into the fleet of fire trucks, and I guess it goes back to the days of horse and buggy when horses couldn't back things into the fire hall, so they had to physically, all the firemen and others had to push the new firefighting apparatus back into the fire hall. So that was a good throwback, and it was really great to have that. And at the same day, the fire department had a car wash to raise money for Camp Genchef. Really a great organization, and we're so lucky to have the people who volunteer to protect our town from fire and safety issues. Really lucky to have those people. We had a mural workshop. Our events coordinator, I believe her title is, Melanie Weatherby, gathered a large number of island artists to T Hill Park, and had the two artists who painted our mural to put on a workshop to show everything that's required to bid on contracts, municipal contract RFPs for painting of murals, because there's been a lot of discussion about really trying to get local people, but you really need to have that, sort of know the drill to be able to know what to do to respond to the RFP, so that you get picked to paint a mural in your own community. Yeah. So the PEI team won the Eastern Canada Cricket Championship at T Hill Park on Sunday. That was a great event, and I got to learn a lot about the game of cricket, and it's an amazing game. It's got a lot of speed, a lot of skill, and it's really something to watch. So I would recommend people, if they get the opportunity to watch it, to do so. It's great sport. And they're going, the PEI team now is competing, and there are a number of Stratford residents on the team, I understand, and they'll be competing in the national championships this weekend. We had a couple of really good, one this afternoon, a good discussion about the official plan, so hopefully we'll be in a position to present that to the public in the not-too-distant future. And that's my report. Any comments or questions on my report? If not, we'll go to the Chief Administrative Officer report. I'll ask our Acting CAO, Jeremy Pierce, to give his report.
Thank you very much. July and August continue to be busy months for the town, even though it is summertime. There's lots still going on. Participated in several meetings with provincial and federal government representatives, largely talking about funding for the Community Campus Wellness Center, but also talking about different issues and concerns that are rising in our municipality and across Prince Edward Island. Attended a unique finance committee for the federal government's standing committee meeting with MP Kent MacDonald here locally from Cardigan and MP Karina Gould from Ontario. And they were meeting with CAOs and management of a variety of municipalities, also from not-for-profit organizations, from different segments of various industries. And the gist of the meeting is how can the federal government improve program delivery in terms of funding support for a variety of different organizations, including the town. So at the end of the day, predictability of funding, timing of funding were two of the big concerns. And they were certainly echoed by us at the town of Stratford and several other municipalities as well. We had a positive meeting with El Nue in regards to duty to consult. The town is undergoing a variety of changes and a variety of projects, whether it be the waterfront project, the community campus, the core area servicing, that sort of thing. And we appreciate the opportunity to follow through with duty to consult with the Indigenous community, and we just want to be proactive and provide an overview of everything that is coming about in Stratford over this year and over future years, so that we can have an opportunity to strengthen the relationships between the two communities. The Wellness Center project is still under design, and we're proud to say Acre Architects and MJMA are doing a wonderful job on that project. It remains on time in terms of the design phase. They're just finishing the schematics, and hopefully in the near future we can start providing some public input or design options getting public design options out to the community as well. Mayor Ogden mentioned that we were fortunate we signed off on a transit funding agreement. The provincial government is a proud supporter of public transit within the Charlottetown, Stratford and Cornwall area, and they do provide subsidy to offset the cost of operating the transit system, and we appreciate that. So thank you to the provincial government for being a continued partner in transit in the Charlottetown area. We are still working on the CATC agreement with T3. We're close to finalizing that agreement. It is essentially now in the legal stage where the context of the agreement have been agreed upon between the four organizations, and legal is kind of writing the contract, and from there we'll bring it back to council for review before ultimately having the four organizations sign that agreement. And then last but not least, as the official plan continues to move forward, and we do have a lot of local developers from a residential and commercial perspective that are interested in developing in Stratford. So meetings continue with local developers. They see a bright future in Stratford. We certainly do as well. We look forward to seeing new developments take place within our community.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, when I welcomed everyone, I neglected to welcome Constable McGrath. So thank you for coming, and I think that's a good segue to move to our Safety Services report, and I'll turn it over to the chair of that committee, Councillor Ron Dowling.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Safety Services Committee did not meet last month as the norm during the summer months, so there's no report from a meeting in relation to safety services, but there is no issues in relation to streetlight report. And we'll move into the RCMP report. We'll call forth Constable McGrath if he's able to provide us with an overview. The package sent to council does contain those reports, Your Worship, as well, for following along.
Good afternoon. In the month of July, Stratford RCMP recorded 300 occurrences. 273 were founded or are still under investigation. This is 21 fewer occurrences than the previous month. 160 of these occurrences were traffic enforcement related and made up 58% of the monthly occurrences. There were 62 summary offense tickets, 41 warnings, three summary offense tickets for driving while disqualified, There were 10 impaired driving occurrences, resulting in charges against 2 drivers. 8 of the 10 impaired driving occurrences were generated as a result of the public calling police. There were 13 theft-related files for failing to pay at the gas pump, and none of those resulted in charges. There were 24 selective traffic enforcement files. Those are otherwise known as step files. There are 13 motor vehicle collisions, and there was a number of thefts at an apartment complex that resulted in charges against one male for theft under $5,000. And the RCMP attended the Canada Day festivities on July 1st and participated in a soccer game at a Special Olympics event.
Thank you, Councilman McGrath. Any questions or comments in relation to that report? I'll just state, Councilman McGrath, it's interesting to see that 8 of the 10 impaired driving occurrences involve members of the public calling in to report suspected impaired drivers. And it's great that that reaction, first of all, that citizens will do that, and seems to be increasing over the past several years, that community involvement. And it's great to see that quick reaction by police in order to be able to take those individuals off the road. Oh, sorry, Steve, go ahead.
No, just comment on, I always see the community-based policing there July 1st at the T Hill and so on, and also helmet fitting there with Ken Murray off the walls was nice to see there.
Yeah.
Donated the
Greg
prizes.
mentioned that, yeah.
And also their play soccer game with the Special Olympics, the PEI event there. And I know as councillors, we had a chance to play against the Special Olympics team for bocce, and they beat us 15-4. So I don't know I hope you guys lost your soccer game too.
I hope so too.
But anyway, yeah.
Now, I would like to thank you for being there on July 1st. The RCMP presence adds so much to the ceremony and everything. And I know it's a hot day and you got the red surge and everything on, but it's really nice to. It adds so much to the whole event. So thank you very much to your members for doing that.
Thank you.
I just got one small thing to mention. Do you find now when you pull somebody over when there's a suspected impairment that it's almost getting to a point that it's 50-50 with edibles and other forms other than alcohol, or is it still dominantly alcohol when you're pulling people over?
I can only speak personally. I still find alcohol is still the overwhelming factor. Cannabis has certainly taken huge strides in the last 10 years, for sure. Yeah, I don't have any hard
Evan, no, I was
data
just
to
curious,
support
yeah.
that, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's certainly creeping up, I have to think though, right? It's kind of thing.
Yes.
I think they mentioned, there's this report on Compass about something up west and how they pulled so many people over, and the amount of people out of the impairment was fairly high when it came to edibles and stuff, and that can happen. Some months could be down, could be up, whatever. I just kind of curious about that because things are changing, right? So, as Bob Dylan once said, so.
Yes.
Just a follow-up to an item that was raised by council last month about scooters and e-bikes. Have you been finding a lot of complaints from the public about scooters, especially young kids on scooters and that sort of thing? On sidewalks and
I
that?
personally haven't received any, and I haven't heard of
you
any
haven't? Okay.
around the office. I have made that observation myself, though, and I'll bring it back to management to get. I'm not aware of what the current legislation is on them,
No,
but
there's none.
I'll bring it back to management.
Thank you. I know Nova Scotia is going to pass, or considering passing legislation to limit it to under 14, or 14 and under aren't allowed
Yes, I
on
saw that.
scooters,
Yeah, saw
on the
that too.
e-scooters. So I would hope that maybe we might consider the same sort of thing. It's kind of disconcerting when you're, especially when it's twilight or when it's dark, to see out of nowhere come somebody going 30 or 40 kilometers an hour on a 10-year-old kid on a scooter.
Yes.
On the wrong side of the road. It's kind of disconcerting.
Yes.
But, very unsafe,
Yes,
but,
Oops, sorry.
no, that's it. Go ahead.
We do have provincial legislation. So
Oh,
there
we
is,
do?
there is provincial legislation in regards to motorized scooters and e-bikes, and the provincial legislation that mandates that people are 16 years or older to drive them.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
that's one consideration. The second factor here is that we in the town of Stratford have bylaws that there is age restrictions on riding bicycles and/or push scooters on our sidewalks, and that is 12 and under?
12 and under, yes.
I think. So the bottom line is that if you are under 16, you're not supposed to be, by PEI law, riding a motorized scooter or e-bike, and by Stratford law, you're absolutely not supposed to be doing it on the sidewalk. So anytime that anyone is riding a motorized scooter or e-bike on a sidewalk,
With helmet?
helmets are a requirement, yes, but on the sidewalk, they're generally like, it wouldn't be permitted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not I'm not trying to be mean. It's just for easily understanding, because there is confusion around them.
Yeah.
And there is an increased presence. And you'll see in other jurisdictions that their arrival comes swiftly, and then all of a sudden, it's everywhere, and people can rent them and use them and do all that sort of stuff. So it is something that we would want to consider how we enforce it, or how we educate people on where their accepted use is, before they're just everywhere. Yeah, and they're a handy tool, don't get me wrong. Just we have to make sure we know how to interact with them.
Yep. Thank you. Any other comments or questions for Constable McGrath? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Constable.
Thanks.
Next item, Your Worship, is the summary Humane Society report for the month of July. That's been included in the package. 33 occurrences, 21 of which were community patrols. So does anyone have any questions in relation to that report? No? Okay.
Nope.
Move on then to the fire company calls report. Expand this a bit. For the month of July, there were 15 call-outs, 12 of which were for Stratford, 1 for Alexandra, and 2 for Crossroads. And the breakdown of those call-outs has been included in the report that's been distributed previously to council. Does anyone have any questions in relation to the fire company report?
I just like to add to Ronnie on the fire company itself, and how we attended on Saturday there to push a truck in, right? How the fire chief there has the morale pretty high, and how the job was very proud. I was very proud myself, being a resident and a councillor, Stratford, walking in there and seeing the ladder truck, and firemen talking about how proud they are working on a ladder truck, and you see these men and women doing this job all the time, and on call and volunteering and so on. And I mean, they put a Scott Air Pack on, a full equipment, 67 pounds. So you see, they're volunteering, and they're going through doors and so on, saving lives and everything else, and see some things that we don't want to see and everything else. But it's very proud how up on that Saturday there with Chief McCormick, right? Yeah, fire chief, yeah. Well, one of the members said to me, this ladder truck means a lot to us as a community, and and the members in the fire department. So it was nice that everybody supported. It was 3 levels of government, I guess. It was provincial and us, and it was nice to see that get support, and especially us helping other jurisdiction outside Stratford, and they depend on us too. So it was really nice, the fire department.
Well said. I think it was a good example of the community working with the province and with the fire company to get a good result, to get something that's badly needed.
Yeah.
And that's what I said in my remarks, that it's just a great example of people working together to get,
Yeah.
to get a good result. So
Yeah.
really appreciate the provincial government's role in this, that, you know, they expedited things as well. So it was great,
Yeah.
great experience working with the,
And they worked on the process of getting the truck and talking to the chief and said if we waited this time, we waited, would have received it later, it would cost them $500,000 more.
Yeah.
So it was great they
they
acted
got
on it.
it for a year and a half.
Yeah, gone a year and a half, so it's nice to see that. I mean, saving $500,000, you know,
Yeah.
getting a truck
No,
like that.
no.
And then the other trucks are getting sold, I guess, from buyers, and so it's
Yeah.
nice to see them moving things around.
That's great, yeah.
If I could just comment on the fire department, I didn't get to attend that event, but what we're doing is supporting them and giving them the tools they need to do their job. That is a very specialized skill, puts their own lives at risk, and as we increase density, their services, like what they're doing and how will the demand on them will be increased as well. So I think they do exceptional work, and if we look across the country, North America, and what firefighters as a whole are facing, yeah, it's significant, and I would do everything always to be able to support them, as we all would.
Thank you. Well said, yep.
Okay, any other questions in relation to the report? I'll just echo comments in relation to how fortunate we are as a community to have such a dedicated force and very professional group of people. The push-in ceremony was very interesting. The new vehicle is spectacular, and they have been out training diligently on the new equipment in several locations around the community. So, but members of the public have had the opportunity to see it, and we'll have many more opportunities in the future to get a look at the vehicle. You know, those vehicles are tremendously expensive, and the fire company, in particular Chief McCormick, have been working diligently over the past couple of years, and the last year in particular, keeping their eye out for vehicles, everything from, you know, relatively new used vehicles to new vehicles, and you know, so they did settle on the vehicle at a time when it was most economical, if you can use that term, given the price of these vehicles. But as Councillor Glant mentioned, you know, holding off for a while would have been significantly larger cost, and the fire company itself, of course, is bearing the brunt of the expense of the vehicle, and that's through fire dues and such, and the province has been a big help in many regards, and the town of Stratford as well has committed a significant amount towards the vehicle, and which I think is fair, given that, you know, more than 80% of the calls on average are within the town of Stratford, and as the town continues to grow and densify in the central core and go up in height, then vehicles like this and would be more and more required, and more calls would be in the within the boundaries of the town as well. So kudos to them, and as Councillor Glant mentioned, you know, with the equipment that they have on, and some of these extremely hot days or some of those extremely cold days in winter.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. It's all I can say. I haven't seen them in action when I was in policing many times. It's not for everybody, and certainly appreciate their dedication. So if there's no other questions, Your Worship, that will constitute my report for this month.
Thank you, Councillor. Now we'll move on to Recreation, Culture, and Events. I'll ask the chair of that committee, Councillor Gordy Cox, to give his report.
Thank you, Mayor. The recreation, cultural events, we met in July, which is good, and a lot of the stuff that's covered in the report was talked about at that meeting. Under the youth center, the summer camp continues to be a tremendous success, operating at full capacity with 25 campers each week through till September 4th. Leadership clubs continue to operate the T Hill Park Snack Shack, providing youth with valuable leadership, business management experience also. The garden club remains active throughout the summer, with 2 groups maintaining plots at the community gardens. Registration for the new youth center season opens later this month, and staff anticipate welcoming more than 100 members, which is fantastic to know that number. Summer programs wrap up under recreation at the end of August for the programs that are offered by the town. The splash pad continues to see strong daily use by families and child care groups, which is, I'm glad to see that this is a really great draw and a lot of fun there. So recreation is open, or will soon open, for our fall recreation programs, including volleyball, badminton, pickleball, active aging, fitness, skills, and drills hockey, and fall art programming. July was a very successful month for community events. We really were busy in that respect. The town participated in the Pride Parade with 19 participants. Tide and Pride and a community mural unveiling each welcomed almost 100 people who attended. I was glad that I was there in capacity as a citizen, an admirer, and also as the chair, and got to speak at it, and along with my fellow councillor Jill Chandler, who was the MC, did such a fantastic job, as she always does, emceeing that event. So thanks. Let's see. Also, with the unveiling, now the T Hill mural is actually completed and has received excellent public feedback, which is really good. Staff are now focused on planning Fall Fest in September and the Remembrance Day service in November also. And I think I'd be amiss to not mention, about Layla and Lacey, Lala, who donated their time and to a mentorship program to local artists from Stratford and also Charlottetown and Summerside, and help them to understand what it takes to do a mural on the side of a building, whatever. They didn't have to do that, but they did do that, and that was just so greatly appreciated. And there were 7 mural panels created during the workshop, and they will be installed at the community gardens. So it'll be great to see those out when we have a chance to put them up. Actually, I just want to mention a couple things. Crickleball, I think somebody already stole my thunder in that. That's great. I appreciate that mentioning that. But our crickleball team here winning the championship. The town also participating with the Special Olympics Bocce Club. They have been practicing over here in one of our facilities, and what I hear, they were really great and really good, and they fleeced our counseling team. Overall, the department continues to see strong participation across programming events, youth center initiatives, and public art projects as staff began the transition into fall programming. And especially this past month, kudos to all of our staff here, who one way or the other were connected to all the events that were happening in Stratford. Also to Melanie Weatherby, and also to Rachel, and there's so many more I can mention that I probably shouldn't have started mentioning names, but thanks to everybody for all their help and support, because it really come off is 100% A1. So thank you so much for that, and that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on the recreation report?
Just in relation to the youth center, it's great to see the camps are doing so well, of course, but also that the registration for next year, next year, continues to increase. It's phenomenal programming. It's a great opportunity for kids to get together and share like interests and make new friends and associate with old friends. And it's a very well-run, well-managed program, and I encourage parents to help their children express an interest in becoming a member of the youth club. It's time well spent, and it helps bring about very good and responsible future citizens.
And Ron, that just reminded me to mention one last thing. If you look at the stats, we averaged about 158 people using the walking track in January, February, and March. And And that's great to see people come in and do some active walking and exercise, not only for physical, but for also for mental well-being. And we were close to 100, actually, averaging in the summer. So it just shows you that that walking track is still being used even on these hot days, and shows you that our programming, and also next door to have our gym the way it's set up, and the fact that residents are allowed to come for free, come participate is, I think that's a really great thing. And it's still being used every day, and will continue to be. So that's great, along with our programs. So
Thanks.
Just, I'd like to compliment you, Gordy, there, and on July 1st, Steve, everybody attending, and especially with the RCMP and Jill singing "O Canada" was very emotional. It was nice to hear that. And then Pride in the Park the next day, you sang a really emotional song there, and it was really touching, and it was really down to earth and so on. But I would just want to say thank you in that part. It was great to see that, and also I know, but the walking track itself, the gym itself, I know equipment up there broke, and I was up there 1 week, and the next 2 days later was fixed. So it was nice to see staff on top of their game there, and and also the Bunbury rink itself. I was talking to Jason Hughes yesterday. We have some sort of budget off the side to focus on the Bunbury rink, get ready for the fall this winter, which is nice, and how we're going to be taking care of it before everything breaks, and throw some money here or there, and just to develop. It was nice to see that. So, and I just have one question about the hockey thing in September 1st. Is that a free skills, Jeremy? Is that or just for residents? September 1st, when the hockey.
The Skills and Drills program has been operating out of Pownell Rink for many years now.
Okay. Yeah.
It does have a nominal fee. It's a kind of an introduction to skating and introduction to hockey.
Yeah.
At a lower cost point than signing up for minor hockey. So it operates early Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. and generally about 40 kids involved with the programs. Moms and dads can go out on the ice as well. Yep. And we have a team that oversees the program and delivers the program, and it's a great way to get your feet wet, so to speak, and get involved with hockey. And it's open, to Stratford residents, but we do have some residents from outside the community that join in as well.
And it was started by a resident at the time, Corey Barlow.
Yeah.
And he kept it going for a number of years, but now there's been some other volunteers, I believe, Jeremy, that have stepped up to really keep it going, and it's working really well. It gives kids that wouldn't be in minor hockey the opportunity to see what it's like, sort of, as Jeremy said, to get their feet wet. Yeah.
It's nice to see us being a diverse and inclusive community, people going to go down there and learn to skate and so on, and start playing a game of hockey and putting their helmets on, gloves. It's really nice to see that.
Yeah, it doesn't have the pressure maybe of some of the being a member of a team.
Canada being Canada, right? We're multicultural.
Yeah.
I can't not speak because I tried not to, but like the murals, such a successful installation. We've been moving the needle on these public art pieces over the years, and it's instantly measurable that people appreciate it and interact with it and respond to it. And thank you for everybody who's been involved with it. In this particular one, with the mentorship program, bringing people from other communities, teaching people, and as you said, those murals being reinstalled in other areas, so like a secondary benefit of public art. But it really is incredible to see, and I hope that it continues for years to come, because its benefits, primary and secondary, are, like, I feel like they're immeasurable.
Thank you.
And Jill, just to add one small thing. When our last time we met in July there were some people on our subcommittee there that had really had concerns about certain aspects of what was going to be painted. Right. And we brought that to both artists to let them know that there was some thoughts, tweaks. And both artists said, yeah, we understand what you're saying. And one part they changed, And I love the fact that the mermaid is not like your Ariel from Disney, but it's like I said, I looked at the way the the mermaid person was looking up, I was thinking that that person knows stuff. And I like to be able to go up and talk to them. Like, it just seemed like the way the face was just, you know, the age and the wonder. I just thought that was so awesome. And then the seal was really cool on the side too. So I just thought that whole building popped when it was revealed. So, and the people there seemed to really, really like it. And the what's it called? The dancers, not the Ariel dancers, but the, whatever it was called. They're all dressed up as mermaids. Yeah. The young girls dancing. That was really great too. So it was a wonderful day.
Yes, and the mermaid is not as young as some
No.
mermaids we may see in typical.
Mother.
Right, the name is Lemaire, Mother.
Yep.
And when you say she looks like she knows stuff, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all mothers, yeah.
But I just got one comment, as far arts and culture. A couple of weekends ago, I attended Montague, Three Rivers, and to the drone display. And I'll tell you, it gives you, went over really well. And I said to myself, well, gee, if Three Rivers can afford it, why can't Stratford, right? Somebody had especially with the pavilion going down the waterfront and moving forward and all the other stuff. So it's something we could look at down the road. It was really great and a big crowd and so on. And then Three Rivers, a small community, 7 or 8, or 5,000 short than us, but did a great job on it. So it was nice to see.
Great. Well, thank you, everybody. Any other comments or questions on the recreation report? If not, thanks for your report, Councillor. And we'll now move on to finance and technology. And chair of that committee is Councillor Ron Dowling. I'll ask you to give the report.
No, finance.
I'm sorry. Are you the vice chair? I'm sorry. I thought you were the vice chair. I'm sorry. I thought maybe Councillor McDonald had made arrangements.
I think you got the next two, Ronnie.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn the mic on. The report is as follows. An overview of the report and the projects are as follows. Utility payments are busy, and the due date on the July quarterly bill is August 4th, 2026. I met with the Recreation Department and in Surrey to get a demo of the service orders that public department, works departments are using. I received demo from Canoe and Group Insurance. Met with Hugh Patton and staff to discuss proposal from Canoe on group insurance. Attended meetings regarding CHIF funding application. And finance staff finished on-site work with the auditors, still answering questions on the year-end file, and hope to be complete with the audit by August, the end of August. Staff met on records management, and management team met with HR consultants to discuss the CAO position. Staff are trying to get current year financials caught up after being busy with the audit, and met with provincial representatives on government funding applications. Finances filled the front desk administrative clerk position, and Sierra Cannell joined the team on June 29th, 2026. We welcome Sierra. Staff are working on billing for some new subdivisions, and staff are busy with day-to-day items. That's as submitted by Director Kim O'Connell.
Okay. Any questions on the finance report?
Okay, moving then into the financial statements. Your Worship, the town financial statement has been included. If there's any questions in relation to that, we'll be happy to address them.
It's nice to see them more up to date now. You know, they're only behind by 1 month, I guess now, Kim. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Thanks very much for attending. See you. Thanks.
Okay, and then the utility income statement has been included as well. Your Worship, if there's any questions in relation to the utility statement.
Any comments or questions? Financial report? Okay, thanks for stepping up, Councillor, and I believe you
sure.
got the next, the planning one as well.
Yes. The Planning Development and Heritage regular monthly meeting was held on July 27, 2026, chaired by Councillor MacDonald. The unapproved minutes have been circulated. If there's any questions in relation to those minutes or the items that were discussed during that meeting, I'd be happy to address them. Okay, and there was a public meeting held on July 23rd, 2026 in relation to an APM commercial development at 14 Irving Avenue for special permit use, which was a car wash. And the verbatim minutes have been attached to the package. Your worship, if anyone has any questions in relation to those or that meeting, public meeting. It was essentially the proponent, as I understand it, Phil, that was, or Mr. Ruff, that was there doing the presentation, so. Okay, being nothing, your worship, we'll move on to 12B, permit summaries, the building permit summary and the building type summary. If there's any questions or comments in relation to those.
No, I see the summary is for the end of July, 39,932,304, compared to last year, 21 million. So I think we're doing very, you look at, we're looking at, what, permit summary? Yeah, 30, and you see the townhouse stacked in compartments are 27 million compared to 8 million the year before. So I think density is starting to move into town of Stratford. See those numbers?
Yep.
Yeah, so I
Thank
mean,
you.
we're, 27 million and compared to 8 million, where you're stacked in your apartments and so on. So it's a big jump. And our final line is 39 million compared to 21 million this time last year.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Okay. Moving on then to 12C. It's a resolution, Town of Stratford Resolution PH 014-2026-DP098-26-102129 PEI Inc., Stratford Auto. Unit A, 11 McKinnon Drive, PID 1065440, special permit use, automobile glass repair shop, public meeting. Stemming from the Planning and Heritage Committee, moved by myself, whereas an application has been received from 102129 PEI Inc., Stratford Auto, on behalf of Novus Glass for an automobile glass repair shop in Unit A at 11 McKinnon Drive, PID 1065440, which is a special permit use within the town center commercial TCC zone, and whereas pursuant to section 13-5-1-B in the zoning and development bylaw number 45, council shall ensure that property owners within 61 meters or 200 feet of the subject property are notified in writing and asked to provide their comments, and to ensure that a public meeting be held to allow residents to provide their input before a decision is rendered by council. Be it resolved that a public meeting be held on a date to be determined by staff and the Planning, Development and Heritage Committee in order to provide an opportunity for the applicant to present the proposed use to residents and or landowners to obtain their input regarding the special permit use. This resolution bears a recommendation of the Planning, Development and Heritage Committee discussed at a meeting held on July 27th, 2026.
Okay, do I have a seconder?
Right here.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Gallant. Any discussion?
No, it's great. I mean, four bay doors, Dale or Phil? I think it's 4 bay doors. Yeah, 4, yeah. Really nice looking building. nice area, great area.
Okay, can you go to, there should be a building site plan in there. Just in the agenda package. So go to the, number 2. So this is actually right next to Stratford Auto on McKinnon. So across the road from where Starbucks is in Sobeys parking lot. So this is just a shell of a building going in. They're just working on interior work at the moment. So essentially Unit A would be the closest to the road. And then the Stratford Auto is going to incorporate one of the units, and then they have 2 other tenants in units B and C. So this is just to call for the public meeting. Any special permit use requires public meeting, so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ruff. We look forward to a date for that public meeting and gather the input from area residents.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Motion carried.
Moving on to item 12D, Your Worship, Town of Stratford Resolution, number PH 015-2026-SD 012-26 Redden Meadows Development, Inc. Renew PH 023-2023 for SD 015-23 being Redden Meadows Major Subdivision. Stemming from the Planning and Heritage Committee, moved by myself, whereas an application has been received from Redden Meadows Development, Inc. to renew Resolution PH 023-2023, granting preliminary approval to SD 015-23, which was a 41-lot, 87-dwelling unit residential subdivision plan for PIDs 1061175, 1061167, and 329011 within the planned unit residential development PERD zone. And whereas the developer proposed to develop this major subdivision in 2 phases, with phase 1 being subdivided in 2024-2025, and the dwellings started construction between 2025 and 2026. And whereas the developer is planning to initiate phase 2 of this subdivision, which will consist of the extension of Billy McMillan Drive across the existing drainage channel and the construction of a new road called Blue Church Landing, and only involve the remaining land within PID 1061175 and subsequent lots. And whereas there are no changes proposed as part of the renewal application, there are no re-notification requirements associated with the renewal applications, and there have been no changes to the zoning and development bylaw number 45 since the approval that would affect this application. And be it resolved that approval be granted to extend the preliminary subdivision approval expiration date granted under Resolution PH 023-2023 that is due to expire on August 7th, 2026, and add a new 3-year expiration date to expire on August 12th, 2029 to support Phase 2 of the preliminary subdivision SD 015-23. This resolution bears a recommendation of the Planning, Development, and Heritage Committee as discussed at a meeting held on July 27, 2026.
Okay, do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Chandler. Okay, discussion. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I got a comment there. I now live in Billy Millen Drive, on Billy Millen Drive in a townhouse. I almost took myself out of this as a conflict, but it's not a conflict because, but I have been talking to residents in the area about the development and what their thoughts are. And I think the main thing that's been forwarded to me as a counselor is that people are saying that you're coming in Billy Millen Drive and you're going over a bridge that has to be made to get up into this new area. And it only has one entrance and one exit. And the exit is right beside that crazy corner, which we are hoping to have a button or roundabout there. And so the traffic's going to be added right to there where you turn quick to go by the Blue Church. So there was concerns that with that many, especially now that they're looking to increase dwellings, that people have had concerns knowing that there's just one exit, and that's all going to funnel out into where that intersection is.
My understanding, Councillor, is that this subdivision plan has already been approved. and-
No, I know that. I'm just mentioning what people,
Oh, yeah, no,
what
no, of
people
course,
have
yeah.
stated about this, and it just want to be on the record that their thoughts are on the record, because although it's been in the works for a long time, people just wanted to have it put on the record. So that was all.
I think Director of Planning is going to say something. I guess my question would be, what would happen? Would they have to submit a new subdivision plan if the notification, or it was allowed to expire, if the date was allowed to expire, if we didn't approve the extra time?
Like a lot of things, when something starts to be built, people start then sometimes
Yeah.
seeing that it is here and having questions. So I just wanted to bring that to the meeting, that's all.
I can understand where you're coming from. Go back to the origin of this subdivision, which was prior to me coming here, but there was a number of iterations of different designs. I believe one of them, if not two of them, had connection to the Redden Drive road itself, up further to the north of it. Both of those, to my knowledge, were turned down because of concerns from residents of through traffic. From a planning perspective, it makes more sense to connect those roads so you have better circulation patterns, but that wasn't the case. And what exists now was what was approved. So there's not much we can do to change it now, but there is an access through Redden, but that's for emergency vehicles, and there will be bollards there to allow fire trucks and any other type of emergency vehicle to get through if need be. But as it sits right now, if they go through, continuing as they are without the renewal, they can't.
Right.
So to get the next phase in.
Yeah, I just think that because now the expansion, the more people using stuff, that it's just where the exit is in a really, it's really in a precarious location, you know.
You mean coming up the Stratford Road?
Coming on the Stratford Road,
Yeah,
and
understand.
Stratford Road is getting busier and busier all the time, and just the fact that you're coming out there and you're turning or whatever, like it just seems it's right on that crazy corner, and where we don't have, you know, a roundabout or a button hook, it's already a dangerous corner, especially if you're coming from Keppick area heading towards Stratford, into Stratford.
Right.
Yeah.
It's already a dangerous corner, and so there's been concerns about it, and so I know not much can be done about it now, but I think just to put that on the record that there's people with who have questions about the concerns about this. So.
Right. Just keep in mind, the current council approved that design.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
And, but it's like anything else, I just, as a counselor, when people come to you and they want you to put it in the record, that's what I'm doing, is I'm doing my job as a counselor.
Can respect that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for raising that concern, Councillor. Any other comments or questions with regard to the extension?
No, on that subdivision itself, I mean, it's being developed, all the R1s up by, in the first phase of it, most of you are also, like, they're at 469,000. And singles on back of singles there, Steve, like we've talked about it, and the other subdivision, and then down by you, Gordy, most of them are all rented. There's 15 they're taken now, townhouses, so there are another 5 going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like it's moving along well.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Oh, I thought you were going to say something down, Councillor. Okay, all those, I'll call for the question then. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Motion carried.
3 years is usually the limit, Dale? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Your Worship. That will complete my report for planning, development, and heritage.
Thanks very much, Councillor. I really appreciate you stepping forward there on, I was going to say short notice, but no notice at all. So thank you. Infrastructure is next. The chair of that committee is Deputy Mayor Steve Gallant.
Thank you, Your Worship. We didn't meet this month, in the summer. Staff continue to manage summer operations, maintenance, and project construction while accommodating well-deserved vacation leave for various team members, our full-time employers. Proposals were received from consultants to provide owners advisory services throughout the design, construction, commission, and warranty periods of the Wellness Center project. Resolution is being brought forward tonight with a recommendation to award this contract. Tenders were received for the snow clearing contract are being reviewed, and a resolution will be brought to the September council meeting with a recommendation to award the contract to service begin in April. Also, construction continues on various projects throughout the town. Coordinating infrastructure staff has also been busy with the following: coordinating with our architectural team, schematic design of the Wellness Center, installing GPS units on town-owned vehicles, completing first aid training. Maintenance, landscaping, and grass cutting continues at all town-owned properties. Bylaw enforcement in conjunction with the contractor, coordinating decommissioning of abandoned wells at various locations throughout the town. Commencing flow and pressure assessments at all hydrants throughout the town. This will continue over the next couple of weeks. Water and sewer inspections, meter installations, and water turns-ons for a new development are ongoing. Daily inspection and maintenance of water and sewer systems and facilities. And managing ongoing customer and resident inquiries and concerns. There was no sewer or water or facilities related emergencies during the month of July. There was one water service leak requiring repair in Alward. Just looking through there, you're talking about GPS on all the vehicles, Jeannie? It's mostly everywhere now. All public works and.
Yeah, we went ahead and have installed 13 of the fleet, the trucks that the maintenance crew utilize on a daily basis, and also the 3 vehicles that we have here at Town Hall that everybody has the ability to sign out. Yeah. The EV, the hybrid, and the van that are here at Town Hall.
Yeah.
Who
has the ability to see that?
At the moment, we have a couple of us managers, and Joe, our superintendent. Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of information available. We're still getting used to everything that it can report on. Yeah. But it's definitely going to be a great tool to, look at our efficiencies, our sustainability practices, and
most of all communities are going that way.
Absolutely.
I mean, the RCP have GPS. Yep. Everybody has GPS.
City of Charlottetown.
Yeah, and it's public safety for them in the town.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I just want to admit, my wife has that. It's on my phone.
Okay.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Better leave that there. I'm not going to comment. Okay, thanks for your report, Councillor. Deputy Mayor, any comments or questions on the Deputy Mayor's report?
No.
Okay, believe you've got a resolution, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah. Got a resolution here. Really happy right now the design of the Wellness Center. Took a long time to get here. And we're here starting it off. So whereas the 2020, I'll go a little farther here. Town of Stratford Resolution, INC 006-2026, Owner's Advisor for Stratford Wellness Center Design and Construction. Moved by myself, whereas in the 2026-27 town capital budget includes $7,672,000, excluding HST for Phase 1 of the community campus, which includes the design of the Wellness Center. And whereas proposals were received on July 16th, 2026 from proponents to provide owners advisory services for the Wellness Center, generally comprising of technical oversight and assistance with project management for the design, construction, contact, administration, and commissioning. Whereas the proposals were evaluated by a review committee who ranked each submission out of a total score of 100, where fees were worth 20, understanding of the project and service worth 30, team experience worth 25, and experience with the firm worth 25, with the following results. East Point, 86.67.
88.
Oh, sorry, 88.67. Colliers, project leaders, 85.81. Harborside Project Management Limit, 82.53. Vigilant Atlantic, 81.77. Gray Cardinal Management Incorporated, 76.05. Belrose Project Management, 72.83. Coles Associate, 71.67. And CMA Plus, 70.35. And whereas East Point having the highest score submitted in a total price of owner's advisory service of $398,820, HST excluded with, which is within the range expected for the services. And whereas the fees of the owner's advisory service will be dispersed over the next 4 fiscal years, with approximately $100,000 expected to be expanded in fiscal 2026-27, which is within the capital budget allotted for the project in the fiscal year. Being it resolved that the owner's advisory for Stratford Wellness Center and construction contract be awarded to East Point in the amount of $398,820, HST excluded.
Okay.
This resolution bears a recommendation of Infrastructure Committee via an email poll conducted on August 5th, 2026.
Okay. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Cox. Okay, discussion.
Wonder, Your Worship, if we could have the acting CAO just give us an overview of what this entails and how that relates to what the final project might look like versus where we're at today, which this is a significant move forward. I'm glad to see that the project is continuing to move forward beyond the significant infrastructure that's been placed in the ground and above ground in that area now, but just so the public can get a good understanding of what this particular expenditure would bring to that project and how it will help us come to fruition.
Yeah, I can shed some light on the owner's advisor services portion of the Wellness Center design process. As everybody's fully aware, the Wellness Center is probably and definitely is the largest undertaking the town of Stratford has ever done to this point. It has a considerable capital outlay, well into the millions of dollars. The scope of the project is such that it is beyond the realm or the scope of our current staff here. We are able to oversee the design process and the construction of many projects that the town does undertake, but this one we do provide some professional services to come in and help us oversee the design process, the engineering, just to ensure that as we move along in the design and ultimately the construction, the commissioning, and the warranty period of the project, we have an extra set of eyes that are that have the background and expertise to provide the proper oversight so that we don't get into things like change orders that all of a sudden escalate the cost of the project beyond where we can fiscally manage it.
This is standard for projects of this type, and although at first glance it seems like a lot of money, when you consider the total value of the project, I think it's money well spent.
And hopefully it'll be money well saved as we go through the course of the project so that some electrical, structural, mechanical, whatever it may be, process doesn't get missed. They can provide that oversight as we go through it and steer the project in the right direction.
Okay, any other comments or questions? I'd just like to say that the RFP process, especially on a large contract like this, is very transparent and very fair, and it was done individually by each member of the rating group, and they came together, and this is a result. And I think as much as we'd like to have a more local contract, it is something that you can't compromise the RFP evaluation process for any reason. There were remarks for local content, and in spite of that, this this is the result. So, but we're very pleased to have a very qualified company to help us with this project. So congratulations to everyone on the team. With that, any other comments or questions? All right, I'd like to call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Motion carried. Thanks for your report, Deputy
Thank
Mayor.
you, Worship.
All right, anything Committee of the Whole? Nothing from Committee of the Whole? No? Okay, we'll go to Sustainability. As the chair of that committee, Councillor Jill Chandler, to give her report.
Last week, I believe it was on August 5th, and I'm going to tell you what we talked about.
Yeah.
We started with the tree planting program, which again was exceptional uptick this year. And Maddie presented some numbers, which I'm going to read to you, or perhaps you've already read, which show just how many trees have gone in the ground in our town. So 154 large trees and 2,522 small potted trees have been planted this season, which is pretty significant when you think about it. And the residential tree planting program is always such a tremendous success, and it was again this year. And I think the tree planting and the smaller ones too, in various committees that I've been on, we've talked about the need for shade, like just the multiple benefits of more trees in our town, and this project serves many of those benefits. We also got an update on the tree bylaw project. So the town has been awarded $88,440 through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Green Municipal Fund to develop a tree bylaw over the next 2 years. And Maddie presented a little bit of the strategy and potentially committee to steer that project, and there'll be further updates on that. Business community update, we'll be working with, or Wendy will be working with the business community to plan future business connection opportunities in the fall. Diversity and Inclusion Committee met on August 6th, and good discussions on a number of items, including a new resident welcome event, the town's RFP for the Diversity and Inclusion Plan review, and support for sharing social media items about upcoming municipal elections and committee volunteer recruitment. And that concludes that report.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on the sustainability report? Okay, and I guess you have the transit report too, Councillor?
Yes, the transit report is a part of that package, and the graphs are there for everyone to have a peek at. If you have any questions, we are happy to try and answer them. We've seen a little bit of an increase over the last couple of months in ridership. We'll hope that trend continues.
Great.
Is going to be any movement come September, Councillor Chandler, like different times or something because the universities get together, or nothing at all?
Not that
No.
I'm aware of. I
No.
mean, I guess, like, no, we're still in a position where we have seen some advancements in the scheduling and the routes that are available through T3, but it won't be until future negotiations happen and the other documents are, like, that will have more of an impact on kind of routing or times or anything like that. So, yeah. Hopefully we'll see more ridership with the return to school in September. That is my main thought, because we haven't seen, it hasn't quite taken the rise that it has in previous seasons at this time of year.
Okay.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, thank you for your report. And I guess you have the next one as well, Intergovernmental Affairs and Accountability.
Yes, we also met on August 5th. It was a busy day. and there are updates in regards to meetings with Member of Parliament Kent MacDonald and our MLAs, the Honourable Jill Burridge and Jen Redmond, and I think that was included in your report. There's also meetings taking place with other community partners and government levels in regards to intergovernmental relations. We did spend some time providing feedback to Wendy on some of the visuals that she's created to support awareness surrounding municipal elections in hopes of attracting more interested residents to participate in municipal politics. So you can see those online now, and they kind of, we talked about this as a council, just the importance of like helping residents understand the various responsibilities of municipal, provincial, and federal governments, and kind of Wendy's assisted in just leading people to some other opportunities and resources if they're interested in running for town council. So that was a productive chat. The annual resident survey results were made public in July, and the full report has been released as well. We discussed some of the results, and the full report is now available on the town's website. And the key performance indicators website has also been updated with the 2025 data. And it's interesting, if you guys haven't scanned through it, there's lots of good material in there and some things that we maybe could chat on further. But overall, I think it's positive.
Thank you very much. Okay. Any comments or questions on the environment and intergovernmental affairs and accountability report? It's a big portfolio. It's got intergovernmental affairs, engagement, and accountability, but we don't always include the engagement, but it's not because it's not important. It is, but it's just a long title. Okay. Thank you for your report, Councillor, and we'll move on now to any inquiries by members of council on anything about the town.
I do have one or two to ask about, sorry, and they're probably directed tonight towards Jeremy, but we have, I know at different meetings we've had updates in regards to the fields, the community campus, and the walkthrough, and the deficits, and the work to address those deficits. Now it's fair to say that fields are not ready for use this season, and that will be advancing to next season. We'll be looking ahead with them being ready next season. Is that realistic?
That's a proper assessment of the whole scope of the project. We're at a point now where most of the summer sports are near the end rather than closer to the start, unfortunately. We've had a productive season in terms of growing grass, but some of the connections from parking lots, the trail networks weren't completed, bridges were just recently installed. So it's probably at this point just allow that space to continue to mature and then open them up next spring.
And just because there, and I have a second question too, but for everyone's understanding, it's one thing to drive past the fields, but then to have the awareness of the supporting infrastructure like parking, trailways, and that safety, like, there's more than just the playing field.
There's more than just the playing field,
when it comes to,
it's paramount that we provide safe services for all the participants. It's paramount that we provide safe access from the parking areas to the sport fields as well. Some of them are immediately adjacent to the parking areas. Some of them require a little bit of walking. So when you take everything into context, it was probably best to take the decision that we did just to defer everything at this point.
okay. And the new campus, and this is, I had, and I've mentioned this to you before, so it's not new information, but like obviously that's a point of interest for people when they see us, like that they may ask about the readiness of those facilities. This week I have actually had calls in regards to cricket, and it's likely because the success of the event that we have chatted about here, and also the busyness in the area. There's a cricket pitch in the new campus.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay, and that will, open in time next season?
Correct.
Would be the realistic
That's
timeline?
correct. Same
Okay.
with everything else.
Thank you.
I have one question. Councillor Cox said this maybe a month ago or 2 months ago about the signage around town, how it's sort of, unsightly and so on. So I know, talking to people in Charlottetown the last couple of weeks, they did a clean up there, the public service department. We don't have a public service department. I don't know. I know it's different for us because they're a city or municipality. I know Charlottetown cleaned up all their unsightly signs, and I know it's a sort of an eyesore for us here. Eventually, the summer, and then eventually September, October, and everything else coming up. I know, how does Montague, does any other, I know the roads are owned by the province, does Montague or other communities, what do they do to clean up these unsightly signs? I mean, we don't have a bylaw on it, I don't think so, but it'd be nice to see it start somewhere with something.
Okay, yeah, so planning did, a couple of our staff members did go out last week or the week before, a couple of weeks ago, I think, and did a number of cleanups, removal of the signs. Typically what happens is they pour them in, we call them, and then they come pick them up, or we dispose of them, either one. So I know they are planning to do another run probably later on this month. We had discussions with transportation as to the best approach on it. In terms of what other municipalities do, often they collect them, call up the applicant and say, hey, your sign was pulled from its location, come pick it up. It'd be at the town hall for the next 2 weeks. If you don't come pick it up, then it's disposed. So we don't have any set policy on that. That's typically what staff has been doing, just in direction and feedback from transportation, but we should come up with some formal policy on that, so.
It's kind of a difficult question because we don't really have jurisdiction because within the municipal or within the provincial road allowance. However, it does create a distraction for drivers, and it's also unsightly, and it is something that's is supposed to be not allowed by the provincial statute. So
Yeah, and technically all signs require a permit, and you need permission from the landowner that the property is going, or that the sign is going on. So.
Right, Phil.
And we, even though it would be under provincial, we cut the grass in those areas, right? We maintain those areas,
I'm
don't we?
not sure.
No, I think.
We don't, it's them?
No,
Or some of it we would.
no, it's all provincial.
Really?
Some of the cul-de-sacs we do.
We generally do not cut the grass along the side of the roads because it is the provincial responsibility. There are some sidewalk sections or trail sections where it does get long and we do go out to do it, but we tend to try to stay away from that because once we do it once, they let it be our responsibility.
Okay, so
So
we're not,
anything within the right of way. I mean, a lot of property owners do cut it. If it's in front of their properties, they would cut right out to the road, probably for the most part. But where it isn't being cut, it would be the provincial responsibility.
okay. Interesting. They are dangerous. The signs, I mean. Signs.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'll speak to the signage. The planning department has spoken with transportation in the province about the signage. And they said, we would like, if we can work together on this, and if you guys feel free to go out on our behalf to take the signage down at any time.
Perfect.
They're okay with that.
Perfect.
So we have that permission to do that, and we've been doing that, so. But I still want to have further discussion with them, because I want them to know that they have a responsibility as well about those signage on their property. Because it is the public right-of-way, which is owned by the province. So I don't mind working with them, but that's not going to become our full-time job to do that.
Do you need to volunteer?
Steve, you said he volunteered, that's on record, right?
Yeah. No, I really appreciate that. I didn't know that the planning went out and did that. It was great to see that and take that initiative, and it's nice to hear that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Any other inquiries by members of council? Anything else about the town anyone would like to ask about? Okay, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I see driving by regularly the waterfront park pavilion, the Michael Thomas Park Pavilion. Just wondering how we're coming along with that. I know, but from the public's perspective, maybe we can get an update from someone in relation to that project, just so public will know that even though it's looking like it's coming to completion, it's a ways off yet.
You'd think I'd learn by now. That's 3 times I got shocked. The project is certainly coming along well, and it certainly has brought about a lot of public chatter as to the new development in the waterfront, and I think people are excited about the prospect of having a public building down there. So far, the building is on time. Carter Livingston, proud new father, by the way. Congratulations to Carter and his wife on the birth of their little boy, Tommy Reed. Carter is overseeing that project. He's out of the office for a few weeks, but as of right now, the last update that we received, there haven't been any change orders or cost changes to that project, and it is still progressing with the anticipated completion date of late November.
That's great, great.
Any other questions or inquiries by members of council about anything about the town? If not, we'll go to other committees. Stratford Seniors Complex, and the chair of that committee is Deputy Mayor Steve Gallant.
Yep. Thank you, Your Worship. Just get down here. We didn't meet last month, or I think we're back in October. So just following is an overview of projects and items being worked on within the Seniors Committee. The contractor was in to spray outside for building for ants. Maintenance has completed work on the units that were noticed during an annual inspection in June. Electrical work is being done within the building based on building assessment report done by Coles. That's all electrical throughout the building, Kim? Yeah. And electrical work is being done to replace the intercom doorbell system for the tenants, which is nice to see. Staff and the management committee are reviewing the management committee policy for potential updates. Province has completed fixing the culvert in the parking lot. Paving a parking lot is underway. I think it was supposed to be this week, maybe next week, hopefully. There are currently 39 people on the waiting list. 5 on the list are waiting for a 2-bedroom unit, and 2 on the list asked to be moved to the bottom. 1 person is not a senior yet. So that's my report. That's from Kim O'Connell there. It was nice.
Okay.
Any questions?
Any comments or questions for the Deputy Mayor?
No.
Okay. Thanks for your report.
Thank you.
No appointments to the committees at this point because we're late. We've only got 2 or 3 months left. I guess 3 months left on our current mandate. No proclamations. Any other business anyone would like to bring to the floor at this time? I think you mentioned you wanted a salary increase or something, somebody? Okay. If there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. So moved. We're now adjourned. Thank you.
Bye-bye.